Final Biodiversity Loss by me, Kieran Mansfield. So, my project was Importance of Decline in the Population. So, for this project, I chose to be a wildlife conservationist officer and give my peers explanations about our species' importance and why those species and why they need help. So, this is very an essential matter to me, and I've always cared about our population, and not many people understand what it would be like or what would be lost without conservationists. So I would work with the EPA and be able to graph the population's decline and care for those animals or make sure they don't go extinct. So working as a wildlife conservationist, I will be a part of one of the reasons our animals or environment is kept safe, such as creating sanctuaries or just parks dedicated to the environment. And I can make sure that the animals which turn endangered make their way back up. And now to the critical or extinct ones, make sure they don't turn endangered. Make sure they can bring their back up and they don't die off. So, in this place, I would use our younger generation's kindness and love for animals to help them learn about those animals and how to help them. I would present to little kids about the animals they love or think that's cute, such as a raccoon or a fox or anything tiny, such as the. You could also use their indoor cats and then relate those cats to popular felines that are wild. You can show them how the environment is an important role, and I can help our generation see that. I believe our generation will be able to help support the wildlife conservationists and rehabilitators who try too hard to protect and serve them. They aren't recognized enough for what they do, which they should be recognized for. So this is my framework project. I also gave the YouTube video I created for it right next to it. So this is my diagram, and each factor impacts other aspects. So our environment can harm the economy or the society, or those can harm them back. So impacts can be climate change, illegal trafficking, hunting, or environmental issues. These are significant adverse impacts, but our positive aspects of the economy and environment are actually hunting license. And that seems a little weird because a lot of people don't believe in hunting and think hunting is actually bad for the environment, but it's not. A hunting license is forced by wildlife conservationists, and it protects wildlife from endangerment or overhunting of animals. We have a specialized hunting season for those animals who aren't breeding, newborns, and are on the higher populated list, so hunting seasons help in that benefit, such as deer. You don't want to kill a button buck, a pregnant deer, a fawn, and you definitely don't want to kill a deer that's tagged and is used for breeding and that breeds often. You also don't want to kill off the biggest ones who could produce better offspring. You can get fined or tickets, or even worse, your hunting license taken away from you if you were caught. You also don't want to take too many game deer off because that's illegal. Here I chose the Amazon forest. This had a really huge climate impact, and the reason I chose this, it kind of plays into the framework standing. So the environment was impacted by society. or it was helped by economy and stuff like that. So climate had a huge impact on us and a significance on the impact of Brazil's deforestation. The Amazon is a large and popular forest area and home to a large population of woods, plants, animals, and people. The reason I say people is the Amazon actually has some tribes or older communities that don't believe there is a bigger world out there. So, over 21% of the forest decreased, but now in 2022, the Amazon is getting some protection. The Amazon is an excellent example of why we must protect our wildlife and forests from human greed and try to help from forest fires or climate change. A lot of ways we can help this is harder to imagine, but the Amazon is getting impacted really big right now by humans who are creating mines or destroying it for the wood or destroying it to create more buildings, houses, and stuff like that. So, our world slowly crumbles without the help of wildlife conservationists, or they aren't as praised as they should be. Mitigation of Lost and Critical Habitats by Alex Leisure, Jonathan Rosenblum, and Christopher Dukerson talk about how the wildlife is destroyed and how the government is creating banks to help fund wildlife. So they go through the decades and tell you, the reader, how much human has taken away from the world's green space, such as like the forest, grass, animals, environment, that's green space. And they also give an example of Snowmass Valley. They have a development where no one can destroy wildlife or forest for development unless 4 out of 5 of the council members agree to that plan. So here's my take on swag crowdsourcing. It helps catch the eye of people, like a logo. So I chose this because it has a touch of color and it can be used as a sticker for your car, water bottle, or even on shirts. The words are simple and mean what they say. Captive care and serve for wildlife. So you can serve for wildlife, you captive, rehabilitate, serve. So I care about wildlife and the environment. I know I do some nasty things to it by driving a car, which I sadly need to get to work because I drive to 2 jobs that are completely far away from each other and home. They aren't close range of walking and biking, so I have to use the car. I also live in a family household of 4, which creates a lot of trash, especially myself, because the number of animals I have that need constant cleaning, so that sucks. I work on a farm, and we don't let the manure go to waste, which is actually good for gardening. So that goes to our garden during crop season, or we allow people to take it for their personal gardens. So some ways I try to make up for these bad habits, which I would try with my rat, cats, or hamster feces, but they aren't suitable for fertilizing. So I can't really make up for those habits with their fertilizing for my backyard garden. But what I can do is picking up trash in my neighborhood, going through the forest at my job, grabbing junk that's on the ground, and making sure people recycle correctly, which I have to tell a lot of people. Blue bin is for recycling, green bin is for trash. So I want to take the bus, but sadly it isn't an option. My mom currently works for CT Transit, so it would be easy for me to get a pass, but it's really hard for me to do this as transit buses stay in one town or close to the city they are posted at. As for biking, I work till sunset, so biking is dangerous because it would be dark around me. throughout the class, I learned more about the environment, how my peers and I try to do better things to help it, and what we do wrong or can't control. Thank you. That's my presentation.